Gangster killed in police shootout in St. James. Fisherman in guns for drugs trade gets a total of 34 years in prison. And the long-awaited harsher sentence for those who found in possession of illegal guns. Yeah man, whole heap of information coming your way. So we now waste no time, let's jet into these stories. Welcome to Jet, and as usual on this platform, first and foremost we must give a big thank you to Father Yahweh or Yahuwah, and also his son Father Yahushua HaMashiach. We must say thank you to God for everything that he do for we, because without God there will be no way, there will be no security, there will be no provision. We are nothing without God. So let's just honor him, glorify him, worship him, and give Yahuwah and his son Yahushua HaMashiach the praise. Now we can move on to the story. So the first story on the agenda, So before you do anything else, before you even watch any more part of the clip, just touch that subscribe button. Then now, please, before you forget, is a story where rock the news fraternity for the last few days, The story where everybody are talking about, The story where one of the top lieutenants in a Salt Spring get killed, and Salt Spring out to become Fresh Spring. Yeah man, so get rid of the saltness out of the spring, cause the security forces them a target this and I do some good work. Yeah man, so the official story starts by say gangster killed in police shootout in St. James, and obviously the St. James is the Salt Spring situation. So the official story goes by this from the Gleaner. Police are reporting that a top tier member of the G City gang was shot and killed during an operation in Salt Spring, St. James this morning. So this was a few days ago, when this happened, roughly say about the 9th of February, So a really fresh story this. He has been identified as Kevin Stewart, otherwise called Pete, but there are no name for him, Name on the street is that in called Pablo. Police say a giant police military team was conducting an operation in the area targeting members of the gang wanted for crimes committed in the parish when they were confronted by Stewart. So like say, you see police and the soldier them, but you my top man and my bad man and a brave man. My mother decides, we can take on them boy, and win this, Anyway, he was wrong. He was shot and killed in the firefight. Police say that they seized 3 firearms and a quantity of ammunition during the operation. Yeah man, so the police them make sure so they get those as well off the streets. So in lose because in things say him go win the fight between him and the lawman them, but little did he know that he's no match for the lawman them. So there's an updated story following from that, This was just yesterday, the 11th of February, where the Gleaner say cops linked dead youngster to several murders. So they must say, wait, this man, they can link him to a lot of different murders, This man are really the top man, where used to do a lot of things, Police have targeted the now deceased alleged gangster Michael Pete Stewart to at least 3 recent murders in the parish of St. James. The 27-year-old, also known as Pablo. So this time the paper say, well, yeah, getting name right on the street, Pablo of Wrong Turn in Salt Spring, St. James, was reportedly shot during a shootout within the security forces at about 6:30 a.m. on Wednesday. So this was on the Green Pan, Montego Bay. He later died in hospital. He is linked to murders of Shanad Dada Chambers, who was killed in Salt Spring on November the 2nd, 2021. Chevon Beams Robinson, who was shot in Bottom, Melbourne on January 12th, and Chevon Chevidan Green, who was killed in Farm Hill on January 19, 2022. So that's just recently, where this man feel like say boy, my top man and them gonna do what you want to do and take out what you want to take out, and I'm sure there's more, but this is just what them discover. But I'm sure, because that's how me here say my top lieutenant, say boy, I whole of things him go on with, and this is just a few of them probably heard about. So yeah man, so it's a good piece of work the police them put in. He said during the operation there were a firefight between the security team and gunmen, resulting in 1 man being shot and recovery of 2 pistols. A search of the area resulted in a recovery of an M16 rifle, bringing to 40 the number of guns found in the parish in 40 days. So like say one a day, I tell you. So yes man, it look like say Jamaica get back to where it used to be, because the police them do a decent spot of work. Next story on the agenda, fisherman held in gun for drugs trade gets a total of 34 years in prison. So it looked like say this was part of the problem, you know, when fishermen them a trade drugs to people of Haiti and them swap them for guns and them bring them across and sell them or probably in a some deal with gang leaders and all of them things there. So the official story, I say a Jamaican fisherman who was held with 2 illegal guns and US 64,000 minutes after he returned from a guns for drug mission to Haiti has been sentenced to a total of 34 years in prison. Garnell Goldson, 45, has been described by police investigators as a major player in the guns for drug trade. He was sentenced in the High Court last Friday after he pled guilty to 2 counts of each illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, possession of cocaine and possession of criminal property. So you see much sitting and catch him with this man and nah playing this man and on a mission him at him work and therefore he make sure say him have everything pat, you know, to supply the streets. Golson was ordered to serve 8 years for each firearm, 5 years for the ammunition, 5 years for the cocaine and 3 years for the cash. However, he will only serve 8 years because the court ordered that the sentences be served concurrently. So the man will get 8 years. After I sound like him and I'll get 34 years because it wrong when do and the way I flood the country with gun where I kill off whole heap of people. We don't know what kind of heart them money have, you know. Before you continue doing fish, go get your fish, man, and feed the public, man, and make your money, man, and eat a food, man, rather than try eat a food off of people life and people expense. Anyway, the story continue. Golson, who is from High Street in Port Royal in Kingston, was surprised by detectives from the police narcotic division at the Jam World Fishing Village in Portmore, St. Catherine, shortly after 9 p.m. on April 14 last year, prosecutors disclosed. So him admit because they catch him red-handed, so he not no choice but have to put him in and say, yeah man, I mean, and take the years and take his sentence. But them sentences are too lenient, man. For them man we are create havoc in our country. You know, you bring in gun where take so much people life and then you gotta do 8-year sentence. No man, a lenient sentence that for you, man. The government need to step up and put the bill on the table. Nah talk about no machete bill, you know. Me nah talk about them cutlass, you know. Them bevel back and front cutlass the government for put on the table, you know. No man, something else me I deal with, man. And make sure say the bill serve its purpose for those who caught with guns. So is the bill coming?
The new legislation to have tougher penalties for illegal guns has finally been tabled in the House of Representatives. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the new bill will address several challenges, including the proliferation of illegal guns.
But importantly, to increase the applicable penalties for breaches of provisions of the Act relating to prohibited weapons. As such, the bill introduces harsher penalties for offences connected to the illicit trade, manufacture, stockpiling, possession and use of illegal guns.
What? Somebody hear that? No man. Me asleep. Somebody pinch me and wake me, but me just here. As some Mr. Chang agwan, trust me. Me nah go call Mr. Chang sleepy Chang again, you know. Because the man wake up. And the man wake up and put things in place. The man promise him I go tackle crime and that is sound like him a do. Big up Mr. Chang for that, man. Yeah, man. Whenever the government them do good work, we have to big them up. If the police then corrupt, we cuss them out, we burn them out. If the bad man then do wrongs, we burn them out. When people do good, we big them up. Yeah, man. So Mr. Chang say the bill I got tackle firearm holder. It has been reported that people caught with guns would be given a minimum of 12 years in prison. No if but or maybes, you know. You get caught with a gun, you're going down for 12 years or more because the judge can give you more depending on the circumstances of the case and the matter. So don't really believe that it's gonna be a 5 years, 10 years or 8 years and all of them things they like what the fisherman get. Yeah, man. So it could say them putting this in place. Now America have one of the toughest prison system, you know, prison laws and the toughest sentences as we may understand on the planet. And with those tough prison sentences, people still commit crime. So when we look into criminology and see behaviors of people and to try and get down to the reasons why people commit crime is hard to tell. But will 15 years be a deterrent? I think it will. Because when a man thinks say he now get 4 and 5 years, you know, and he say, boy, I gone left my girlfriend, a man gonna take my girl after me gone lock down for 15 years. No man not gonna wait for me so long, or me pitney them, or my family them, me not take no check. No sir. You know, if it was a 4 and 5 years, me could have say, well, yeah man, in no time at all, 4 and 5 years run off and me out on the streets. But 15 years are too much, man. And the man could have give me all 20 years to depending on the circumstances. So you are going now. Me not put on them tall up and them short up there and no bother with the thing because it not worth it. You know, in America people get 100 years. Me don't know how then justify that because a man not live for 100 years so easy these days. So the system hand on 45 years, 20 years for a simple little crime and all of that. The third crime, me not sure the jury's out on that. It's on to people. Drop your comments and tell me whether you think longer sentence will the third crime. But you are, my view is that me think it will in a Jamaica. Let's see and hope that it turns out the way we expect it. Top lieutenant killed in Salt Spring. Yes, it may reduce crime. It may save a life. Good work by law enforcement. Fisherman get 34 years, narrowed down to 8 years. In do the crime, now him pay by doing the time. New bill on the scene, tougher sentence for people caught with guns. Let's hope that this is a deterrent because that is what we want to make our beautiful highland more attractive to visitors and citizens who want to come home. Usual, hit the like button, touch the subscribe button and touch the bell. Touch also the share button because we want many people to get access to these information, you know. So you are going now. We're going to jet out of this now.